So I think the first thing it starts off with just people being knowledgeable, and being knowledgeable about actual science and facts of climate change and global warming versus what they see on TV, what they read on the internet, what they hear in chat rooms and message boards. Because a lot of times that can start off as good information and it kind of gets watered down or it gets skewed.
Climate change really impacts public health in two ways. First, as more temperate areas of the world become warmer, certain diseases that are endemic to more tropical areas will spread. So for example, diseases may spread from Central or South America to the United States because mosquitoes or other vectors are able to travel greater distances. The other way that climate change impacts public health is through natural disasters. As storms become more powerful, certain natural disasters become more common. And every time there is a giant hurricane, that's an acute crisis of public health. People need clean water, people need food, they need to make sure that they're in sanitary conditions. All of these things are public health issues. So climate change has a very big impact on public health.
The Earth is always trying to create homeostasis, or it's trying to create a balance. So it has too much warm air and too much warm water near the center, and too much cold near the side of the poles. And so it tries to take the cold into the warm, and the warm into the cold. It tries to create balance. You disrupt that balance, that's why we don't necessarily know what kind of catastrophic effects that could have.
I just got back from a weather conference, and the overall theme of, we talked about climate change and its effects, and the driving points were increased variability, meaning a longer span of time frame. Maybe severe weather season is a little bit extended, maybe April to July instead of May and June for the tornado season, and more frequent, so you get more frequent events, and that's the general trend that I think we're seeing happening with big type events.
Storms are bigger, seems to be more hurricanes, they're bigger, and they seem to do a lot more damage.
This election cycle, it's very polarizing right now on folks that say climate change isn't real, it's just a myth, and the folks that say this is a real problem and we really need to address it. It's, I think, easy to, from a psychological standpoint, it's easy to not see severity of things if it doesn't affect you on a daily basis. I think it's very important to get people to understand that some of the fixes that will have to be done over the next 50 to 100 years, 200 years, are going to cost money. And we either can fix them now, or we can start to, or we can wait, and it'll cost a whole lot more. Try to fix it later.
There's a lot more than $23 billion that's being spent.
So you have to have folks that are in positions of power, positions of influence and legislation to really truly believe that they want to try to make changes. A lot of times people see it very overwhelming. Say, well, what can we do? I can't do anything. It's too much to deal with. Can't deal with it. So it's more of a, if you can start small and you can take and break things down into little pieces and tangible goals that can be made, then at that point, I think you have a much better success rate, because then you just build upon those little levels of success. So I think that's where it's a mindset.